Welcome to another Your Tech Report video. Today we're going hands-on with the Samsung S23 Ultra. Thank you for tuning in to another Your Tech Report video. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, do hit that subscribe button down below and don't forget the notification bell. It will help you get notified whenever we've got a brand new video just like this to share with you. Samsung released new phones obviously earlier in the year, right before Mobile World Congress. The S23, the S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra. We've got the Ultra right here, as I alluded to. Now, let's talk about these phones for a second, because these are the flagship devices from Samsung that come out every year, and they come out a good 6 months, if not more, earlier than the new iPhone models. So it gives other companies an opportunity to kind of see what the competition is doing before they release their final hardware. Now, that being said, we know next generation phones are already in production well in advance, so how much can they actually change from year to year in response to some other people? Well, we don't really know. Let's unbox this device and let's see what the actual hardware is all about, because the phones, quite honestly, look pretty similar to last year's models, but, you know, on board, they've got upgraded camera systems, and they come in a variety of different colors, which is what really sets them apart from year to year. The first thing you notice on the back of this device is this incredible camera system. 1, 2, 3 cameras, the bottom one being the what do they call it? Periscope lens, where it's actually sideways inside the camera, giving you an incredible amount of zoom. So let's take this phone out of the box and see what we are dealing with. A big slab of glass. Yeah, that's really what these phones are these days. The S23, the basic model, has a 6.1-inch 1080p OLED display, 3900 milliamp battery, which means you're going to get decent battery life out of it. Now the S23 Plus has a 6.6-inch 1080p OLED and a 4700 milliamp battery. The S23 Plus also has a little bit faster wired charging and higher base storage. It starts at 256 gigs compared to the 128 gigs on the entry-level S23. They both still have wireless charging and, of course, IP ratings for dust and water resistance. Now, the new chips on board these devices: Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processors, slightly higher max clock speed, so they will perform a little bit different. Camera systems on these devices, well, they're refurbished and refreshed across the board. You've got brand new sensors, brand new image processing, and AI remastering of photos. Now, AI's been in the news a lot as of late, so you know the power of AI and what it can do. So add that to a camera system, and you get a pretty impressive result at the end of the day. Now, on this one, you've got a camera system that includes a 50 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and the 3x telephoto lens. When I took pictures on the device on vacation, you could tell that the camera quality was pretty good, brightly lit in a nice setup room. Now, in a perfect environment, the pictures look absolutely great on any device, and in this particular case, it was no difference. There was a bit of shutter lag, which I noticed, which is not new to Samsung phones, something that you get used to after the end of the day. On the front of these devices, there's a brand new 12 megapixel selfie camera. This is a new design, a little bit clearer in terms of actual video conferencing, so if you also want to use that for the selfies, of course, it's going to work the same. S23 starting price is $799, and the S23 Plus starts at $999. So what about the Ultra? Let's talk about the base specs here, okay? You can have 8 or you can have 12 gigs of RAM, okay? That's a good option. 5000 milliamp battery. That is a big ass battery that will last you an entire day. Granted, if you're filming 4K the entire day, maybe not so much. Well, I'll let you decide exactly what that means to you. A 200 megapixel camera. Think about that for a second. 200 megapixel camera on a smartphone. Weight 234 grams. Okay, that's a pretty heavy device. When you compare this to the fact that 249 grams is what a drone needs to be in order to not fly with a license, so that's what they've been releasing. This is a pretty heavy phone if it's actually the actual weight of a drone. That being said, the drones are pretty light in general. Okay, so we said 234 grams, the weight of this device. We talked about the camera system a bit, but let's talk about some of the other features, because you've got 120 Hz HDR 10 display on this device. It is 6.8 inches diagonally. Always on display with Android 13, so you get that quality there as well. The actual pixel density on this device is actually over 500 pixels per inch. That's insane. That means you get a resolution of 1440 by 3088. Let me check that up. Yeah, 1440 by 3088. Overall look and feel of the device is actually quite comfortable in the hand. It's got that nice shiny glossy look on the sides, which is extremely magnetic to your fingerprints, so be wary of that, and I think you know that. Whereas you get the matte color finish on the back, which is kind of nice. The camera bumps as well, if you look at it from the side, are really not as pronounced as before. Overhead shot, you can kind of see that by the side as well. But when it's on a a desk, it doesn't really have that annoying bounce unless you do the opposite corners. Let's talk about some of the video resolutions on this device, which are pretty cool. Up to 8K 24 or 30 frames per second, 4K at 30 or 60 frames per second, 1080p at 30, 60 at 240, and of course 1080 at 960 frames per second with HDR 10 plus. Stereo sound recording, and that new front-facing selfie camera also supports up to 4K, up to 60 frames per second. Bluetooth is version 5.3, Wi-Fi up to 6E, so you get those gigabit speeds. You of course got GPS and everything else that you could think of down the road. No satellite connectivity on this one though. Are you really missing out? If you want to charge by wire, it's a 45-watt power supply that comes with it, which means you can get up to 65% in just 30 minutes of charge. So overall, a pretty reliable flagship device from Samsung, the S23 Ultra. Of course, you can get in on the regular S23 or S23 Plus if you don't want to go onto the Ultra, as we await to see what other companies come out with this year in terms of flagship devices. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a subscribe and a thumbs up. Leave us a comment in the comments below. Let us know what you want to know, and we can get some more info for you in future videos. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.